Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm back in Tennessee today, and
you're doing it all wrong, man. You got to do the epic VO intro.
Wait, so who are you?
I'm Rob.
Guys, it's Robuilt.
Welcome back to another episode of Robuilt. Cue intro.
All right, cue the cool intro.
Welcome to my A-frame.
You're doing this, Mike.
All right, yeah. Oh God. Wait, hold on. What do I do with my hands? Carry on.
I don't know.
All right, let's go. Let's do this.
Okay, guys, so now I'm here with my buddy Rob from Robuilt.
Oh, I'm your buddy?
Yeah, you're my buddy.
It's Robuilt, by the way.
Yeah,
Don't spread that misinformation.
It just really bugs him. You actually pronounce it as Robuilt, even though his name's Rob, you might want to pronounce it as Robuilt. This dude right here, he currently runs 10 Airbnb properties all over the country.
Ooh,
and
I know I said 10. 13 now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just closed on a few houses.
Unlucky 13, so 13 properties. And you booked in how much in like total bookings?
In the 4 years that I've been an Airbnb host, I've hosted just over $1 million worth of revenue on my Airbnb account.
That is a lot of digits. So right now we're standing on a 50-acre plot of land about 30 minutes outside of Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And Rob has a plan right now to build, what is it, 25 tiny home units?
Yeah, 25 is exactly right. If everything goes according to plan, we'll have a mixture of 25 tiny homes, glamping units that comprise of little A-frames, geodesic domes, tree cocoons, which are basically canvas balls that hang from tree trunks. So it'll be a little bit of everything, because my philosophy is to diversify your glamp sites and diversify your portfolio so that you can serve a little bit of everybody from every audience. Oh gosh, there's so many gnats.
There's a lot of gnats.
There's a lot of gnats. Yeah, let's try it again. I'm scared to talk because then the gnats just find a home in Rob's mouth. Just like everyone else in this town. All right, do not add that.
This dude right here obviously knows what he's talking about with Airbnb. I mean, he already has 13 properties with many more on the way and over $1 million booked in. So in this video, we're kind of talk more about his background, how he got into doing this, how you as well can get into Airbnb, potentially launch your first ever property, and just what he has in store for his future, what his future plans are out here in Tennessee. So let's get to it.
Let's do it. When I first got started, I was doing what's known as rental arbitrage, which is basically where you rent an apartment or a house and then you re-rent it on Airbnb. Admittedly, I didn't necessarily tell my apartment complex about that, and that is not how I recommend other people get started in Airbnb, but it was very new at the time, and I had no idea what I was doing, and I honestly just didn't want to spend $2,000 to break my lease, so I was like, well, I'll just put it on Airbnb, and once that lease is over, then, you know, I'll kind of move on. So I was hoping to break even at that time. I was like, if I could just make my $1,800 LA apartment rent, which was like on a 600 square foot apartment, I was gonna be happy. But what happened is I was making $1,000 to $2,000 of profit every single month.
Wow.
And that really was a game changer for me and my wife, because we just didn't have a lot of money at the time. We were drowning in student loan debt. We had a lot of credit card debt, and we had just moved from Kansas City. So for us, going from Kansas City, where everything is super cheap, all the way to LA, where everything is 4 times the cost, it really just kind of clicked with us that, hey, if I could make $1,000 to $2,000 per apartment, what if I could really start to scale this business? And so for the next 4 years, we scaled up a little bit at a time. Every single year we would add a couple units to our portfolio, and now I've got about 13 spread across the entire country.
Okay, so now could you kind of break it down for us numbers wise? Like maybe just how the different units perform? Does a tiny home do better than an Airstream? Just financially, how all this stuff works essentially for you.
Totally. So on a tiny house like the one in Joshua Tree that I have, Casita Conejo, I built that for about $165,000. And right now we gross between $7,000 to $9,000 a month. $9,000 a month was kind of my record month back in December. So on a low month, we're looking at a profit of $5,000 to $6,000. On a higher month, we're looking at a profit anywhere from $6,500 to $7,500 or so. So not too shabby. And then we have something like this. It's a little tiny A-frame that you see back here, talking about maybe $3,000 or $4,000 a month gross. Oh, is there something in my hair? Oh God. Oh God, you gotta tell me these things.
Hey guys, I just want to let you know that Rob just released his new comprehensive Airbnb course. If you want to learn about how to be successful on Airbnb, this is the course for you. He also has a completely free webinar that he's doing soon. We'll get direct access to Rob. There's even going to be a live Q&A session at the end. So check out the links down below in the video description. If you missed the webinar by the time you watch this, that's still okay. There is a chance over the next few days to sign up for his course. So check out the information down below. And now back to the video. Okay, so now for this next part, Rob, just looking back in your entire journey, what do you think are like 3 of the most important factors for your success in Airbnb?
Good bug repellent. I mean, number one.
These gnats are still killing us this entire shoot, guys.
So it's always been a running joke between me and my friends that I'm the cheap person in the group. So when I started my short-term rental journey, I was really pinching for pennies, trying to save $1 here, but spending an hour of my time doing so. So over time, I've learned where I can splurge and where I should really be budget friendly. So that's probably factor number 1. Factor number 2, I was willing to work for free for a very long time. This whole 4-year journey for me, I have not really paid myself. I have never reaped the rewards of all of my hard work, probably up until the last 3 to 6 months. So anytime I would make money, it goes right into the business. So the moral of the story here is if you can just put in the time and the effort for a few years, then, you know, as my dad says, everything that runs off the tree is honey after that. So actually he says it in Spanish. That's probably not exactly how it translates, but the point of the story is work hard at the very beginning, and then you can start rewarding yourself once you start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. So that's number 2. And number 3, and this is something that I've learned the hard way, but something that I'm really beginning to understand as a business person and an entrepreneur, is hiring the right team and hiring people around you and partnering up with people that can help you pick up the slack. So I'm now at the point where I've hired an assistant and I've got different partners that are leading different projects for me, and I'm now able to observe from a bird's eye view versus being on the ground level and in the weeds all the time. So as you begin to scale, as you begin to grow, start empowering people and hiring people on your team to run your business for you.
Okay, now, so for this last part now, I want to kind of give it back to the viewers. I'm sure a lot of you guys are curious about how to get into Airbnb, how to launch your first property. So could you give my lovely subscribers a few actionable tips, Rob, of like how to take those first steps to get on Airbnb and start hosting?
Absolutely. So first and foremost, subscribe to the Robuilt YouTube channel, obviously. After that, decide how you want to start. Do you want to start small? Do you want to start big? Like, it's totally fine to start small. I did. And I always really preach starting in your backyard. I don't mean literally, although I did build a tiny house in my backyard.
He did.
But I mean, start anywhere from 1 to 5 hours away from where you live so that it's something that you can feasibly go and visit on a weekend to go check in, but far enough to the point where you're not gonna go and address something that's happening during the week, you know? Living in LA, I'm about 2.5 hours away from Joshua Tree, but there's nothing that could ever get me out there unless like the house burned down or everything. It's really about hiring the right team to just make sure that you have boots on the ground that can address the stuff.
That's his favorite phrase on his channel. I always hear boots on the ground.
I'm gonna make a t-shirt that says that.
Merch.
But really, there are a few ways that you can get started. You can get started as small as a house hack where you buy a house and you rent out different rooms on Airbnb or even to long-term tenants. That's how I started, and I had other people pay my mortgage. And in the 3 or 4 years that I was house hacking, people have paid, I think, about $140,000 to $160,000 of my own mortgage for me on Airbnb and through long-term rentals. Next way you can start is to get into a vacation rental, and you can even do it as easily as buying what's called a second home that allows you to put 10% down. I'm not a mortgage broker, talk to your mortgage broker about this, but the idea is this is your second home that you get to use occasionally. You get to occupy it for a portion of the year, and for the rest of the year that you're not occupying it, you can make a great income by posting it on platforms like Airbnb, VRBO, glampinghub.com, bookinghub.com, Plum Guide, whatever you want to you choose whichever one you want, Mike.
Plenty of options.
But you can actually do this in a way that not only supplements the mortgage attached to that home, but actually makes you a really good income. And then if you want to go all out, you can actually buy the home as an investment with 20% down and run it as a full-on short-term rental business, which is what I've chosen to do in Joshua Tree, California. So that's a little bit more of the risky side where you have to run the numbers and make sure that that works for you from an analysis standpoint. But if you want to start small, buy a house hack. I always say get into a house, own a house first, scale up from there. All right, we're doing it.
We're doing this, Mike.
All right, yeah.
All right,
well, thank you so much for visiting the MikeWillTravel channel.
Well, now we're British for some reason.
Oh yeah, I don't know what that was, honestly. It was something though. Oh, we'll say that.
He's also a part-time comedian, part-time actor.
Hey,
you can check out his...
really?
No, you.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, you think I'm a comedian?
Oh,
wow.
Guys, I'm gonna link down his OnlyFans in the description as well.
Yes, but I only provide pictures of my feet, so you got to be into that kind of weird thing.
This can't go in. Demonetized. Demonetized. But okay, guys, that would do it for this video. I hope you learned something of value from Mr. Robuilt over here. I'm gonna link down all his information below this video.
And right in the corner over here
and
too.
future Mike, who is editing this right now, will also put up his information and some handles and stuff in that corner. But go and check him out. He really knows what he's talking about in the Airbnb space. But Rob, you have 5 seconds now to say whatever you want.
Oh God, I should have invested in Bitcoin a lot earlier, or I would be a lot richer if I did.
See you next time, guys.
See ya. Robuilt, R-O-B-U-I-L-T, Rob, because I build things. Not the Robuilt.
Oh my Lord.
All right, yeah, let's talk about Airbnb.
Units.
Really? You gotta drive your car now,
Come
pal?
on, man.
Come on, man. You can drive all day. You gotta choose right now.